Hey, what's up, Panther fans? Getting at you today with a little review of yesterday's game against the Arizona Cardinals. I was fortunate enough to be there for the game, second win of the season, and it was great. Better crowd than I expected. Great football weather after a really cold Saturday. Warmed up a bit on Sunday and was just right conditions for that type of game. I'm filming today at my parents' house, back at home. I'm home for Christmas from school. Be home for a couple of weeks, so I'm here filming today. And you can see my room. I was just as big as a fanatic then. I got it painted up Panthers colors, and the whole walls, everything is. But just got a few things to say about the game yesterday. First and foremost, I should probably go ahead and do the Shane superlatives for this game since it was a win, especially. Gotta say, offensively, Jonathan Stewart, great game, 137 yards rushing. He continues to be kind of the Jonathan Stewart of old these last few weeks. And also, I gotta give a kind of a mini superlative shout out to Jimmy Clausen. Played his best game as a Panther, I would say, so far. Had his second touchdown pass of the season, and had over 100 quarterback rating, which is very good. Took care of the ball, didn't turn it over. I'll get into that a little more in depth here in a minute. Defensively, a few people played well, but I would say Captain Munderland did a great job yesterday. For one, he was on Larry Fitzgerald most of the game, from what I saw. And Fitzgerald, is a big receiver, one of the best in the game. And he did a pretty good job, even though Fitzgerald got he got over 100 yards receiving. But, Munderland rather, kept Fitzgerald in front of him for most of the game, and did a pretty decent job. I never really saw Fitzgerald break out anything that was too long for most of the day. Nothing like back in the playoffs in that game that we shouldn't even talk about, the last time they were in Charlotte. But just a good game overall. It's a game that I felt like we never lost control of at all. Unlike the San Francisco win, it was back and forth most of the game. I feel like this game, it was ours from the get-go. We never let it go. Even though the game ended up being 19-12 final, just a touchdown separation, it was ours from the beginning, and we had complete control. Let me know if you felt any differently in the comments section, but all three phases of the game, I thought we played very well, as well compared to what we've been playing the rest of the season. And it was really good to see us play that way and send Coach Fox out with a winning record, career winning record he will have now, and a win in his final home game, because, like it or not, he's been the best coach that we've ever had here in Carolina. And we've got to, applaud his efforts. He's been here for 9 years, which is very long by NFL coaching standards. But he's a guy that you just got to kind of cheer for right now. Go out on a high note like that, because the last two games probably not going to be too pretty. But we'll see. But back to Jimmy Clausen. We'll talk about his play, since he's going to be the guy that's going to be the closest watched and most heavily scrutinized going forward. He played his best game, took care of the ball, did well. He gave up a couple sacks, but he showed some mobility, showed some good decision making, and that one touchdown play to Jeff King was great. Great read and pass. That was right in front of us, and it was really funny because Jeff King, he didn't turn around to right before the ball got there, and I could see Jimmy lock onto him, and saw him throw the ball, and Jeff wasn't even looking. So just the last second, he turns around, and the ball is right there in his face. But great job, great play on both ends for that touchdown play. But I thought Jimmy did a pretty good job against a weak team like most teams in the NFC West. But now we have to continue to evaluate if Jimmy's going to be the guy moving forward. We don't know that right now. We're going to be in position, most likely, to pick Andrew Luck with the #1 pick if he comes out in the draft. But we got to see if Jimmy's going to be our guy and decide whether he is or not. what he showed me yesterday, you know, he continues to show glimpses that say he could be a starting quarterback in this league. He can be the quarterback for our team. And, you know, it's hard to say for a rookie. It's hard to evaluate a rookie, period. But, you know, especially under the circumstances that we've had this year with, you know, a lot of injuries, young talent, just not a very deep team behind what we've got. But, you know, I think these last 2 weeks are very important to him, and it's basically a job audition for him. You know, not a whole lot else to say about that. I mean, I'm happy we won. I'm happy the Bengals won, almost just as importantly. So, as Scott Fowler said on the Charlotte Observer's website, said, yeah, it's a guilt-free win for us, really. We could win, which I was glad to see in person, and for John Fox. You know, and we don't have to worry about losing that #1 draft pick because Cincinnati pulled out the win, too. But, you know, right now we're still in position to get that #1 pick with Steelers coming up Thursday night, which is not going to be pretty, most likely, and then Atlanta Falcons in the last week. With those guys, you know, I could see us possibly winning if they rest their starters, but if they don't, then it's not gonna look good probably. But you never know. These John Fox teams, they never give up, which was evidenced yesterday. They were playing with intensity, and they looked pretty good. I think that we definitely look like a lot better team all around than the Arizona Cardinals, who have 4 wins. But we looked a lot better than them, and you know, I think we're set up well, which I maintain we're set up well for the future with whoever comes in to run this team. Not much else I want to talk about right now today. I'll try to get a preview up for the Steelers game if I can sometime in the next few days. It's kind of difficult to do that here with you know, the circumstances of being a Thursday night game. I'm home now, so we'll see. If I do, I do. If I don't, then I apologize. But I'll definitely get a review of that game out after the game. Either way. But please, in the meantime, be sure to comment. Give me your thoughts on the game. What'd you like? What'd you not like? If there was anything. Is there anything that you didn't like from the game Sunday? Because it's hard for me to find many negatives. I mean, a few things stand out, but of course. But I don't want to harp on those because it was a win. But I think the pass protection, for one, could continue to develop, as it wasn't all there at times. But you know, that and the play calling is still just horrible at times. But we won't harp on that. We're just going to go ahead and end it right there on a positive note, because it's good to win. It's good to still have the #1 pick. We can have our cake and eat it too this week. But be sure to subscribe also if you haven't already, and come check out the Facebook group, Carolina Panthers. We're all talking football there, so come on down. But we'll see y'all in a couple days after the Steelers game. Hopefully it's a win. You know, these guys are coming off a loss. You know, it's hard to know what to expect. The game they should have won against the Jets yesterday, but didn't quite pull it out. They're going to be angry, and it's going to be in their house. And, you know, they're a tough defense that rookie quarterbacks would always struggle going against. But if you have any thoughts, please let it be known, and we'll talk to you soon. Go Panthers.